Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Reactor, and this is Quinn. And today's article comes from CNN.com and says, Pittsburgh synagogue gunman told SWAT he wanted all Jews to die, criminal complaint says. So I guess this jumps the gun a little bit and assumes you already know that there was a guy in Pittsburgh who shot up a synagogue.
Yeah, it's really
yesterday.
messed up. I did not know that.
Yeah, these things keep happening.
I don't have cable. I don't watch TV.
Yeah. Well, let's find out. I actually don't know anything about what happened. Let's find out, though. So here's a video of guys walking with guns. This is probably the gunman right here and his partners, I'm guessing.
Could be. Doubt it.
Not long after gunfire broke out, police officers in tactical gear rushed into a synagogue in the heart of Pittsburgh's Jewish community. For 20 minutes, the officers encountered dead bodies and wounded worshippers and exchanged gunfire with a man with an assault rifle, said Robert Jones, the FBI's special agent in charge of the Pittsburgh office. Wow. This is the most horrific scene I've seen in 22 years with the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Jones said. The victims ranged in age from 54 to 97. Allegheny County Chief Medical Examiner Carl Williams said. The suspected gunman, Robert Bowers, told a SWAT officer while receiving medical care that he wanted all Jews to die and that Jews were committing genocide to his people. A criminal complaint filed in Allegheny County says.
Whoa, that
So
is
there he
crazy.
is. This is the guy, I suppose. Should we play it?
Yeah.
No idea what this video is. It could be a
A
commercial.
lot of these anti-Semitic, this anti-Semitic vitriol that we're now digging up, we're seeing more and more of it, was posted on a social media platform called Gab, which frankly until today I had not heard of. But just tell us overall, what is Gab?
Yeah, it is a fringe website. It's a version of Twitter. Think of it as a version of Twitter, but it's popular among alt-right members and other kind of folks that don't feel welcome on sites like Twitter or Facebook. Why don't they feel welcome? Because Twitter and Facebook, despite all their many, many flaws, enforce a lot of guidelines, a lot of rules of the road. Gab's claim to fame is you can put up pretty much whatever you want, no matter how racist or ugly, and it's going to stay up on the site. So this person, this individual, was using Gab to share his anti-Semitic views. And as our colleague Paul Murphy pointed out, he's been doing a lot of research into this suspect's social media platform. Anti-Semitism was a fuel. It was a kind of fueled other hate speech that this suspect was posting. So it wasn't just anti-Semitism, it was also hate about immigrants, hate about other individuals, but at the core was this deep anti-Semitism that you see on his social media footprint.
And several of the messages that he was posting was against a Jewish refugee resettlement agency.
Yep. Oh, I keep going. Give me a little bit of info, I guess.
I think they forgot to mention one person that he hated the most, though.
Who?
Himself.
Do you think?
Probably, yeah.
During his shootout with police, Bowers told policemen, "They're committing genocide on my people. I just want to kill Jews," an FBI affidavit says. Dozens of people had arrived to the Tree of Life synagogue that morning to celebrate Saturday Shabbat services. Oh, yeah, it was right during their... Yeah, it was on Saturday.
Wow,
Yeah.
yes.
It's their holy day. By dawn on Sunday, crowds took to the streets of the historically Jewish Squirrel Hill neighborhood despite the rain to light candles and mourn the 11 people killed there. Yeah. The attack is the deadliest on a Jewish community in U.S. history, the Anti-Defamation League said in a statement. Authorities believe the suspect acted alone. He faces 29 federal charges, some of which are punishable by death. "We simply cannot accept this violence as a normal part of American life," Governor Tom Wolf of Pennsylvania told reporters Saturday evening. These senseless acts of violence are not who we are as Pennsylvanians and are not who we are as Americans. The trial of hate. For weeks before the Tree of Life shooting, Bauer frequently targeted Jews in his posts on Gab, a social media platform that billed itself as free speech social network. The 46-year-old resident of suburban Baldwin used anti-Semitic slurs, complained that President Donald Trump was surrounded by too many Jewish people, and blamed Jews for helping migrant caravans in Central America. He posted pictures of his handgun collection. So what's funny is that guy was really bad-talking Gab.
Right.
And you're not familiar with Gab, are you?
No.
Yeah, like he kind of explained it. It's like, it's not a racist Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
It's a free speech Twitter.
Right.
And free speech involves racism. Racism is a part of free speech. You're allowed to be an idiot. So Gab isn't an evil network. It's actually, like, if you think about it, this guy was allowed to post all this crazy crap on there.
Right.
So
I remember when Facebook
Like,
was new and you could post pretty much anything.
Do we want people like this to be silenced so that we don't know they're coming? Or do we want to give them a platform to announce themselves like this guy was doing?
I mean,
you know,
you obviously would want someone to. You want to be able to catch people that are going to do something.
Yeah, you don't want to make people like. I feel like Gab did a service that was taken for granted in this. You know, you could have noticed this guy if Gab was bigger. I suppose more people would have known.
You think it could be beneficial to have like a lot of these things up where you can just
no. I just mean like if Twitter wasn't banning people from saying anything they wanted, we would be able to find people who were saying the crazy stuff.
Seriously.
Yeah. Instead of silencing them, let them speak and let people be upset about it and point them out so that authorities can, like
well spoken.
If some guy's gonna shoot up a synagogue, you want him to say that on Twitter. You actually do.
Right.
You want him to announce it to Twitter. But Twitter doesn't allow that, which is bad for society, in my opinion. There's another video. Probably going to be similar crap.
It's probably his gun collection.
Yeah. The language on the account matches the suspected motivations behind the shootings, law enforcement source said. Gab has denied any support for terrorism and violence and said its mission is to defend free expression and individual liberty online for all people. Gab said it has backed up the suspect's profile data, suspended the account, and contacted the FBI. Bowers posted constantly on the platform. 4 hours before the shooting, he posted about Trump. Minutes before storming inside the building, he logged onto Gab and wrote to his followers, "I can't sit by and watch my people get slaughtered," he wrote. "Screw your optics, I'm going in." Yeah, see, and no one saw it because Gab isn't as popular. I mean, people saw it probably. Mm-hmm. Did this guy have followers? I don't know, man. Would he? Probably not. So, again, like maybe he wouldn't have done anything on Twitter because who's following this guy?
Right.
But still, my point stands that it would have been beneficial if we had known on a bigger platform.
There has to be one person.
Someone would have noticed something.
Somebody had to.
Day of worship turned into chaos. It was a peaceful morning when neighbors in Squirrel Hill suddenly heard screams and gunshots coming from the synagogue. In minutes, police officers were running around urging them to stay indoors. While it's unclear how many people were inside the synagogue, Michael Eisenberg, the immediate past president of the Tree of Life congregation, said that nearly 100 people could have been attending simultaneous services for 3 different congregations. So here's Pittsburgh. So it's over by Ohio, and then there's that, and that's where he did it. On a day like today, the doors open, Eisenberg told a reporter for CNN affiliate KDKA. It's a religious service. You could walk in and out. Only on the high holidays is there a police presence at the entrance. Really? On the holidays they have police?
Probably for like large cash donations and stuff.
Yeah, maybe. Police say they received several 911 calls around 10 a.m. about an active shooter at the synagogue. Only 5 minutes had passed since Bowers made his last social media post. So this happened yesterday in the morning, and I didn't even hear about it until today.
Right.
I guess I don't pay attention to the news very much.
Nor do I.
A gunman wearing a green vest or green jacket came into the lobby and began firing, officers said in radio traffic recordings posted on Broadcastify. This is an ad for Broadcastify. As officers made their way to the synagogue, they were told a caller heard 20 to 30 shots from the lobby. People were running and hiding throughout the building. Tree of Life Synagogue in the Squirrel Hill neighborhood following the shooting. What? Oh, that's I feel like they keep saying Squirrel Hill, and I don't care about a hill. Police initially confronted the suspect, a man armed with assault-style rifle, when he was leaving. 2 police officers spotted him, and then he opened fire at them, according to the FBI's Jones and Allegheny County criminal complaint. He shot one of them in the hand before hiding inside the synagogue, the document states. The other officer received several cuts to his face from shrapnel and broken glass. Bowers used a Colt AR-15 rifle and 3 Glock handguns during the attack, police said. When officers in tactical gear entered the building, they found the victims' bodies and survivors hiding. They rescued at least 2 people from the basement and scrambled to evacuate people as they looked for the gunman. SWAT officers found Bowers so now he's Bowers? He was Bauer before. It's confusing. In the 3rd floor of the building, a criminal complaint says. They exchanged fire until Bowers surrendered, authorities said. So this is SWAT. He was in fair condition Saturday evening with multiple gunshot wounds, officials said. It's believed he was shot by police. Investigators recovered a rifle and 3 handguns from the scene of the shooting, Jones said. Bowers is now facing at least 29 federal charges, including using a firearm to commit murder and multiple counts of obstruction of exercise of religious beliefs resulting in death, a hate crime. Authorities said he killed 11 people, 3 women, and 8 men. The actions of Robert Bowers represent the worst of humanity, attorney Scott W. Brady said. Bowers could face the death penalty if he's convicted of a hate crime. He was also charged with 11 state offenses, including attempted homicide and aggravated assault, a criminal complaint shows. So, because it's a hate crime, he faces the death penalty, not because he murdered people.
Right.
So apparently murdering people doesn't warrant the death penalty, but being racist does.
Well, the United States, every city in the United States can't report on all the murders all the time because it would hurt their tourism tremendously, for one thing.
But there's not that many murders to report.
Yeah.
I mean, there's murders, yeah, but it's you don't want. Why would we report all of them? You know,
I mean,
the news is filled with every single face that's committed a murder.
It seems unlikely that it would happen.
These incidents usually occur in other cities. What? Pittsburgh Police Safety Director Wendell Hisrich told reporters Saturday afternoon, "Today the nightmare has hit home in the city of Pittsburgh." Investigators converge on suspect's home. 2 police officers, 2 SWAT officers, and 2 other people were wounded in the shooting, Hisrich said. 1 officer was released Saturday, another is expected to leave the hospital Sunday, and 2 remain hospitalized, Police Chief Scott Schubert said. 5 victims were being treated at 2 Pittsburgh hospitals, health officials said. 1 wounded person was treated and released, they said. They said. Yeah. So, the guy walked in with guns, and they want to ban guns, but they're totally missing the point that guns are what stopped him. Yes, he had a gun, but what stopped him? Guns. Cops with guns, of course, but that doesn't... Cops aren't any better than a civilian trained with guns. You know? A lot of civilians who are trained with guns are better shots and more... I don't know, whatever,
I think
than a cop.
At some point we were talking about this before, where you can basically take every gun off the street, yet there is somebody who can build a gun.
Yeah, guns exist already.
People build guns in tents in other countries.
We should make mass shootings illegal. We should make killing people illegal, and not the way that they do it. You know, not the tools used.
Right.
You know, if somebody kicks someone off a roof, don't ban shoes.
Yeah.
You know, don't take away people's legs.
Right.
Because that's not the problem. Having legs wasn't the problem. The dude's a piece of crap, and he kicked someone off a roof. Trump shooting, more devastating than originally thought. Oh, Trump shooting, yeah. Trump told reporters at Joint Base Andrews in Maryland that the shooting was terrible, terrible thing. If there was an armed guard inside the temple, they would have been able to stop him, Trump said before boarding a flight to Indianapolis. That's true, right? I wonder if people are arguing with him on that.
If I could, I would like to expand on Mr. Trump's words and say that it is actually a terrible, terrible, horrible thing.
Terrible, terrible, terrible thing. He forgot to add one of the terribles. No, yeah. After landing, Trump told reporters the shooting looks like an anti-Semitic crime. We're learning a lot about it. It looks definitely like it's anti-Semitic crime, and that is something you wouldn't believe could be still going on, he said. Trump previously said in a tweet that the shooting was far more devastating than originally thought. So another part of this is Trump isn't anti-Semitic. I mean, it's very likely he's not. I'm sure it's possible he could be secretly, but part of the problem, in my opinion, is that the media is what's a good word? I don't know. They're instigating this racism narrative, and they could be creating people who are racist. Like, say someone who is a devout follower of Trump. They love Trump. Like, oh my God, he's saving the country. Then the news tells them he's racist, and they go, oh, I should be racist. You know? Oh, I should attack Jewish people in a synagogue because that's what Trump likes. He's racist too.
No, I don't think that I get that from what
I'm saying crazy people. I'm saying crazy people would pick that up. But when the media says that Trump's racist and hates Jews, a crazy fan of Trump might think, I want to impress Trump. And he's racist.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, there's kind of... The president ordered flags flown at half-staff in honor of the synagogue shooting victims. Groups around the world speak up. A number of other figures and organizations issued statements condemning the violence and extending its sympathies to the victims and their families. Okay. The museum reminds all Americans of... What museum? The museum reminds all Americans of the dangers of unchecked hatred and anti-Semitism, which must be confronted wherever they appear, and calls on all Americans to actively work to promote social solidarity and respect the dignity of individuals. The Holocaust Museum said in a statement. Okay, so yeah, they didn't tell us it was a Holocaust museum. During his Sunday address, Pope Francis offered his condolences to the Jewish community in Pittsburgh. May the Most High welcome the deceased in his peace, comfort their families, and sustain the injured. In reality, we are all wounded by this inhuman act of violence, he said. May the Lord help us to end the outbreaks of hate that develop in our society, reinforcing a sense of humanity, respect for life, moral and civil values, and a holy fear of God, who is love and Father of all. Oh, now this guy's trying to spread fear? The Pope's trying to... Oh, what? In 2017, anti-Semitic incidents in the United States surged nearly 60%, according to Defamation League, the Anti-Defamation League. It found 1,986 cases of harassment, vandalism, and physical assault against Jews and Jewish institutions last year. In a statement Saturday, the ADL said the attack was believed to be the deadliest in Jewish community in U.S. history. It is simply unconscionable for Jews to be targeted during worship on a Sabbath morning, the ADL said, and unthinkable that it would happen in the United States of America in this day and age. The Rabbinical Assembly said an act of hate against one community was an act of hate against all. This mass murder is a reminder that anti-Semitism is on the rise in America at a rate unprecedented in decades. This vicious hate crime perpetrated against innocent people at prayer is but the latest in an escalating scourge of hate-based violence in America, the group said in a statement. I feel like that's not a great thing for them to say. Like, anti-Semitism is on the rise. Oh my, like, everyone,
yeah,
well, calm down.
I don't feel like that's really a thing right now either.
Yeah, racism is being...
It's as big as they want to make it sound like.
I think racism is being fed by the media right now. The Orthodox Union and Rabbinical Council of America issued a joint statement expressing sympathy for the victims of the attack. This senseless act of anti-Semitic violence was not only an egregious attack on Jewish community, but an attack on the very foundations of civil society and our collective democratic values, the Orthodox Union's executive vice president said. That's the end of the article. So, yeah, I guess that kind of filled me in. Don't really care to watch any of these videos. Yeah, basically, I think this is a crazy guy. That's what this is. This isn't about racism. It's about racism, but it's about identity being involved in this guy's insanity. You know, he's, I don't know if Jewish people did something to him. Like, what is he seeing? What picture is he seeing that led him to believe he should do that? You know, he's crazy, and he you know what I mean? Like
definitely.
What caused him to believe that he needed to attack Jewish people in a synagogue? Like, did he think they were the ones attacking him? Those specific people? Like, none of it. This guy's insane. This is a crazy guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The problem isn't guns. I'm sure a lot of people are going to say, got to get rid of guns in Pittsburgh now. You know, I don't know what their gun laws are, but you got to get rid of crazy people, and guns won't be a problem anymore.
They could even make bullets really expensive. There will be a person that will
make their own bullets and sell their own bullets. There'll be a black market for bullets.
Exactly.
Yeah. You have anything you want to say about this? Yeah. This is sad. This is unfortunate, and it's too bad Twitter didn't allow the guy to post his craziness on Twitter, because
he could be called out quicker by a larger amount of people.
The FBI would have noticed him faster. All kinds of stuff. Yeah, it's sad that Twitter likes to protect these kind of people. Yeah. But yeah, that's it for the video. If you enjoyed it, let us know by giving it a thumbs up, add a comment, or leave a comment. Let us know what you think, and check out our Patreon link in the description if you want to help us, because that'd be great. Thanks for watching.